Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Crafts with DM. I know it kind of looks like I'm jumping in quite far into the project. Issue is, apparently I lost some footage here. I'm not sure what exactly happened. I know I recorded it all, and as my GoPro shows up in the top corner, I did show that part, and I'm showing myself drinking and stuff like that. I recorded all of it. However, I think my camera accidentally deleted it. However, we are going to go ahead and continue going on anyways with our painting of the Johnny Trendy sculpt by Loot Studios. Loot Studios, amazing product. For $15 a month, you get 3D STL files, and this is from their welcome pack. Right now, what we're doing is we're actually doing the step immediately after base coating, which is color. At least that's what I tend to call it. Essentially what you're doing is you're going to be layering your colors on the mini. So right now I'm working on the burgundy trench coat, and as you see, it just looks like a dark red at the moment. And while burgundy is a dark red, it's not exactly a burgundy. There's a little bit more color tone in burgundy than just being a dark red, but that will actually come through more in our washes that we do in the end. After this step, we still have to do washes and dry brushing, and then after our washes and dry brushing, we do what I typically call effects. Now, see, effects are still done in the same way as your dry brushing and washing. However, there's a spot that you want to make it go, whoa. Whether that's blood glistening on the shark's teeth, or dirt splattered on the floor behind the person. That's when we're really going to hit that final detail, just wow. And then we're going to be done. But right now we're working on color, and that's where we want to get the colors as close to what we're picturing as possible. As you can see, I kind of already painted the boots there. I'm really sorry I don't know what happened to that footage, even though I do still have a ton of footage here. This is going to be a very long video for you guys. It's all even sped up, and it's still going to be long. I'm sorry. But the boots there are actually close to final product. But you might be wondering, Nick, didn't you say you wanted that to be a black leather? Correct. But leathers start out brown. And that's the funny part here. Leathers always start brown. Then they get into the ceiling and everything. They get turned black that way. And that's actually kind of what washes and stuff will do. But here we just got them a deep, rich brown. And as you can see, sometimes that red really looks a little brown, but it's alright. You do want to make sure you kind of have everything nice and colored. However, do keep in mind that the reason why we do have the base coats there are because the recesses and shadows are going to be black and things like that. There's a reason why we did things the way that we did them. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys just a little bit to just go ahead and notice the different brushes and stuff. You can go ahead and take a look in the top corner if you're interested in the kind of palette work going on. Well, I'm going to try this next time to make sure that all the footage is saved completely. I really have no clue what happened with the last one. I even seem to be missing the files, missing numbers of the files myself, and that's not exactly something that's making me happy. But I mean, my digital camera only allows me to record 20 minutes before it shuts off, And it's once you're in a painting groove, sometimes it's hard to notice that. Oh, wait a second. Is my camera still rolling? But I will try and do better with the washes and things, the washes and dry brushing video that will be coming out later this week. After that, we'll be doing the fine details, and then we'll be taking a small break from mini painting, and I'm going to be trying to attempt to make a big ship with you guys to watch, made out of styrofoam. And when I say big ship, I'm thinking about a galleon, a very large galleon. Because Wayward Swords Podcast Session 0 is coming up soon. I'm not sure what day anymore. I did have a date. The dates has to change. But it's going to be themed with pirates. There's a certain kind of pirate stuff that I would be mentioning and getting into that. However, that's actually going to be a video cover that's going to come out the same week as Session 0. After Session 0 will be played during Session 0, if that makes sense. It's going to be a pre-recorded video that I will make in order to put up live with Session 0 and things like that. That is essentially what is Wayward Swords Podcast. And in order to give you just the simplest idea if you want to watch, Wayward Swords Podcast is a game of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons set in worlds that you already know, but just now have been made easier and possible by me with very little work for you if you want to do so. So Season 0 that I talked about before was Supernatural, the TV show in design, where there was guns, there were creatures of the dark, and it was a whole lot of fun to record. But that is now Season 0. Season 1 has now become a pirate theme, and if you want to go ahead and hop in the comment section and try and guess what pirates, I will gladly tell you yay or nay, maybe even arg, to the guesses down there. But if you think that might be something enjoyable, go ahead. And I'm thinking about making a $15 Patreon subscription. You know, I have my entire write-up of the way that I have gone about it, giving you different factions, different ideas, and different ways to go about doing so in your own world. So if you are a new DM, or if you want to start trying to play with your friends, and you want to do something that is in the wheelhouse that they're used to, then everything's already there for you, pre-made, ready to go, in a nice simple pamphlet. I mean, yeah, it's $15 a month. You don't have to stay at that tier to have access to it, but that's just because of the fact that while you don't have to go through the work of making everything adjustable and coming up with ideal scenarios and things like that for classes, players, and things of that nature, and trying to figure out how to do bosses and all that kind of stuff. I kind of did, and I'm trying to get a little bit of recognition and thanks for the hard work, because that money will be, well, 25% going to my friend's family, the friend who passed away during the recording of Session 0, and the rest will actually be getting rolled into Wayward Swords Podcast. Just like if you donate to Patreon for this show, he'll also go to making this show better by making Wayward Swords better, because of the fact that the equipment used on this is also used on Wayward Swords. And 25% will still be going to my friend's family, so you'll be supporting both at the same time. If that sounds like a great deal, please head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/waywardswordscast, maybe? I don't know. Link will be in the description. Anyways, I'm going to leave it be for a little bit. I know, long video. It's kind of self-showing with the palette that I showed before. Unfortunately, I am really, really bad at painting on camera, but I am still bringing them into frame, and you can see the details going on, so I'm kind of leaving it. I know, I'm sorry that it's not the best quality. I will make the adjustments for later to try and make sure that as I'm bringing it closer to me to see, I'm also not taking it away from you to see, because that's not exactly good for both of us. Alright, talk to you in a second as I introduce Okay, just here to finish up things. As you can see, we have our mini mostly painted, just doing a little bit of kind of dry brush, kind of detail painting here. I'm not, as I said, I lost footage. I'm not exactly sure what all I fully paint in this, but we will do a nice full showing of what all was painted before we actually get into the washes, because it's kind of important to show that the bottles and stuff I have not yet painted. That is actually going to be painted during the washes video, because of that I don't want them to be washed in the same washes as everything else. They're going to be getting a different kind of, they're not going to be getting a wash really like the normals, which is the main reason why they're kind of getting skipped on certain things. But next episode of Crafts with DM is going to be washes and dry brushing. See you there.